Before I start, I'll show you what the main difference between the KSG and other shotguns is. So what you can see on the screen right now is a different shotgun. When you shoot it, you get sort of lots of pellets spraying out. But when you take the KSG and shoot it, you only get one pellet. So that's the main difference between this and the other shotguns. We've never really seen shotguns like this. So this one pellet shotgun means that sometimes you may think that the hit detection is a little bit weird. And that's certainly what I thought first of all, is that the hit detection was weird or the game was laggy. But the fact that you only get one pellet means that the shot has to be incredibly accurate, but when you hip fire there's a certain area that your pellet can go into. You don't really know where it goes inside that area. So there's a certain random element, and sometimes that's really weird because you think, oh, I must have hit that, and I just keep going. And I haven't hit the guy, or some alternative, sometimes you hit a guy from a very long distance where you think, oh, what? That's a bit weird, that's not what a shotgun's supposed to do. So that's the main sort of weird aspect of this one pellet shotgun. But don't start thinking that you can use the KSG as a long range weapon, because in one match I was doing it and it sort of works, but it also sort of doesn't. It has a longer effective range and a longer normal range than any of the other shotguns, but in its normal range outside its effective range it's not a one-hit kill anymore, and that's only in medium range, so it can't even do long range. You don't hit anything at long range. So it's still a shotgun, it's just even more random than any other shotgun. So the best way to use the KSG is just like any other shotgun and hope that you do get the hit. So any other shotgun, what does that mean? It means that you have to be at close range, so you have to be within the effective range, otherwise you're going to have a lot of trouble because you have to uncock the weapon every time you want to shoot it. So if you miss, the other guy's probably going to kill you pretty easily. So the main sort of skill in it is that you move around on the map so that you are in your effective range whenever you encounter an enemy. And that's difficult to do, but that just requires practice and map knowledge. So the class is built around making the hip fire as accurate as possible and making it easier to move around the map. Even though you're going to be trying to get around the map very quickly, you still are going to be, most of the time, going to be in the middle of the fight. So using flak jacket and tactical mask will help you avoid getting killed by explosives or getting killed by not being able to react to enemies that have thrown concussion or flash grenades at you. Now, toughness might seem like a weird perk to go for, but when you get shot, which you most certainly will when you are using a shotgun, you flinch regardless of whether or not you're aiming down sight. So when you get shot, you flinch. That's a given regardless of what you are doing. So if you do get flinched though and you're trying to shoot someone, it's going to be much harder even if you're hip firing. So using toughness just makes it a bit easier to hit. Now, I'm not using any lethal or tactical grenades or secondary weapons because shotguns don't need any of that, because either you're trying to get to the combat or you're in the middle of the combat, and in neither one of those circumstances are secondaries, lethals or tactical grenades going to be useful. Secondaries are only useful when you run out of bullets in your magazine for your primary weapon, and you're never going to run out of bullets in the KSG. I think it's got around 14 or something, so you're not going to run out of them. Even though the KSG has a longer range and pretty high damage, putting on the long barrel increases that damage even more and gives you a bit more range, and that just means that when you do get a hit, you're much more likely to get the kill. Laser sight is obviously makes hip fire more accurate. Very standard attachment for the weapons that for shotguns. I always recommend it for shotguns. And adjustable stock, you might think, oh, why would you use that? Well, on the statistics, it makes the accuracy of the KSG a bit better, and in fact in all of the shotguns a bit better. And when I used it, it certainly felt that I was getting more consistent hits than without using it. So that's why I'm using the adjustable stock, even though normally you would use it to walk faster whilst aiming down sight. It actually has more benefits outside of that. So, there you go, that's the class setup I recommend for the KSG and how to use it. Thank you for watching, and until next time.
Kill confirmed. Hostile care package inbound. Friendly UAV inbound. Kill confirmed. Counter UAV awaiting orders. Hunter-killer drone on standby. Hostile UAV above. Friendly counter UAV inbound. Friendly hunter-killer drone deployed. Kill confirmed.